could have a candlelight dinner here.
I'm just gonna. I want to make certain that everybody gets this. I'm gonna just double check and make certain that the recording's working. That everybody gets this. I'm gonna just double check and make certain that the record. All right, good. Streaming is working. That way we know, and we're gonna start. We're gonna get started with the meeting. I'm going to share my screen in Discord, and that way you guys will be able to see what's going on here.
With all these people, it's hard to find where you're sharing.
Yeah.
Oh, first one. There we go.
Just started sharing now, and so we want to, just so we all feel like we're at work, I'm going to put up the slideshow presentation. Is everybody able to see on the screen the picture of Ragnaros?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, sweet. All right, so Phase 3 is over, thank heavens, and it's time to move on to in-game. Everybody's going to get to level 60. Super excited about that. We just saw everyone that has just joined the guild, and in the last week we've had about over 150 new members in the last week. So very, very happy to have a bunch of new folks, and good to see guild chat popping again. So make certain that all these folks get a warm welcome. Because we're just really excited about what's going to happen to us in Phase 4. Just a reminder for all of you, whether you've been here since Phase 1 or from day 1 or from our hardcore days, or if you just joined a few weeks ago or a few days ago or hours ago, our number one goal as a guild is to treat others just as you want to be treated. And so, just a reminder for all of us, we're a family. We treat one another with respect that we would want. We want to have the kind of guild that nobody ever wants to leave. So, just a reminder. This is what we're trying to build here on Wildgrove. So let's talk a little bit about our rating plans for Phase 4. We've been having a lot of conversations. Our officers have been doing a lot of work. So where we are right now is we have 4 raid teams. They are almost completely full. We have 75 people that are signed up to raid, and no one is going to be holding 2 spots. So we have these are 75 discrete raiders that are committed to raiding. We do have, as of a few minutes ago, we do have 5 openings in the guild. We have for the late night team 2 melee DPS. Wednesday, Friday, 6:30 server team 2 melee and 1 melee DPS on the Monday, Thursday, 5:30 server team. So if you are not currently on a team, those are some openings that just popped up, and definitely talk to me if you are wanting to, if you're not on a team and one of those times matches for you. So just a couple of things we want to encourage folks. Molten Core rating will start for the guild with the lockout that starts on July the 25th. So our expectation as a guild is that you are level 60 and that you've farmed up your pre-biz by whenever your raid team starts raiding for that particular lockout. I do want to tell you that if you do want to raid, but you aren't currently on a team, we have. I hate calling it a waiting list, but that's kind of what it's just a way for us to know who's available to raid. And so we have a link I just put in a couple of hours ago, a link to a form in the raid team information channel in Discord. So you can go into that channel, you can click and take it's a very short form. That way we'll ask you 3 questions. One is your mains name, your class, your role that you desire, and then which team, if any, would you be available to raid with. And if we get some folks in there that can match with some of these openings, we'd love it to get you guys involved. These are the teams as they currently sit, except for looks like Mox is a scratch, so we do have that. That is an opening on that Thursday, Monday. So if you have a Feral Druid and are available to raid at that time, that certainly might be an option. Or you don't have to be you just have to be a melee DPS. And so we do have a few openings. We have 2 on Morphaz's Match, and we have 2 on Jamalan's Judgment. All right, so did someone say Thunder Fury? We are looking at legendaries, obviously, with this phase. And so at the very beginning, we're just going to ask folks just to manage your expectations. They are subject to, our policy is something that we've talked about as raid leadership. We've talked about it as officers, and have kind of come up with what we shared with you guys, and I'll share with you again in a moment how we're going to handle legendaries within the guild. But we are going to assume that that Blizzard is going to have the drop rates exactly the same as they did in Classic. If that holds true, we know that there's about a 3 to 4% likelihood of getting drops of those the pieces that are needed to forge legendaries. So again, a very low drop rate probability, but if it does happen, then we want to have a plan in place for making certain that those people that would be candidates for receiving a legendary would be able to. Again, Blizzard could completely do something different. But we're going under the assumption right now that legendaries will be exactly the same as they were before. We have decided as raid leadership, all of the raid leaders as well as officers have decided Thunder Fury is going to go to a tank. Sulfuras most likely is going to go either to a Feral Druid or Ret Paladin, although you may not have somebody on your raid team that matches that. So we want to keep our options open if we have to, but those are kind of the things those are the kind of classes that we feel probably would be best with that particular weapon. So assuming that the drop rates apply as they did in Classic, our idea is to pre-select those candidates that guild leadership will be doing that, raid leadership will be doing that, based on several criteria. So obviously we're looking for folks that have demonstrated some loyalty to the guild, that have that team spirit, positive attitude. We want to make certain that folks have demonstrated that they've been in the guild for a little bit. We're going to be looking, are these people on time in their attendance? Are they always prepared? Are they always to raid? Or do they have an absentee? Are they absent a lot of times? We want for our folks that do agree to be candidates for legendaries, want them to be able to pledge to us that they're going to continue raiding on that tomb for the rest of SOD, because what good is it for us to farm up a legendary for somebody who decides after getting the legendary that they want to either stop playing or they want to try a different main, that sort of thing. What that does is that kind of hurts the guild moving forward. So we do want to make certain that these are folks that are going to be sticking around. Obviously, also, as I said before, they want to be role appropriate. So Thunder Fury for tank and Sulfuras most likely for Feral Druid or a Ret Paladin. So we've had a lot of questions on how our Onyxia and world bosses are going to work. And so, when we thought about it, we don't want to burn out our raiders. So we know right now that there will be 2 lockouts per week for Onyxia and our world bosses. And so kind of our philosophy moving forward is that our priority for our 4 raid teams is to clear Molten Core, get that on farm. But we also know that there are things we need off of Onyxia, there are things that we want off the world bosses. So what the guild is going to be doing is we are going to be sponsoring 1 official guild 40-person flex raid on Saturday evenings to try to kill Onyxia and the world bosses. We haven't decided on a time. If we can get, if we could get, say for example, we know that they're tuned for 20 to 40 people. So if we got, 50 people that wanted to go, then we could do two 25-person flex raids and split and do that so that anybody that wants to do that content can. So that's one of the lockouts. And so, what we've decided to do is if you want to meet that second weekly lockout, then I would encourage you to either pug or even better, get guildies together to do it for that second lockout. My main concern is at first you're going to be raiding a couple of nights a week in Molten Core, and a third night doing, if you choose to do the Saturday evening flex raid to do Onyxia and the World Bosses. The last thing that we want to do is burn people out and say, we're going to do 4 nights a week. So that's just crazy. So we've decided that's going to kind of be our stance. We don't want you to be locked out of getting loot. So for that first lockout of the week, certainly feel free to pug. But we are definitely going to be always doing that flex on Saturday evening. Another thing that will really help us is if any of you have some lower level warlocks to help summon people to the different world bosses, because obviously that night there's a lot of travel involved, and we can expedite that if we have some folks that are willing to serve as summoners. Okay, so just kind of some reminders about what raids, what we expect out of our raiders. Our philosophy is that a raid spot, it's a commitment to 19 or 29 other people or 39 other people that you're going to be there. If you sign up, if you're a member of that raid team, that you are going to be there. We would ask that you be proactive to sign up for raids. Usually sign-ups go out a couple of weeks in advance. The bottom line is if you don't sign up, then we can't plan. If we just get 18 people for Molten Core, we probably can't run. So we need to know, we understand life happens. So if you're not going to be able to make a raid, you need to let the person that is responsible for sign-ups and for roster management, you need to let them know that you're not going to be there, and sign yourself up for the raid as absent. Just a reminder that if you're a no-show, in other words, you signed up but you didn't show up, or you didn't sign up and didn't show up, then we're going to be looking at replacing you permanently on the raid team. We just need to have people that we can depend on. We know that life happens. Sometimes you have to work late, your internet goes out, that sort of thing. And just the earlier that we know, the easier it is for us to fill those positions. So, as soon as you know that you're going to have a conflict, contact your roster leader through Discord or in game. The bottom line is everybody has a smartphone. It's 2024. Everybody has a smartphone, and there's really no excuses for us not to be able to have those conversations and let our raid leaders know. Okay. So Phase 4 is going to drop this Thursday. Does anybody know what time it drops? Has it been announced yet? Arakius, you
I
should know
think
this.
I think I read 4 p.m., but I could be wrong.
Fairly certain it's like every other time, and it's 1 p.m. Pacific. So that would be 2 p.m. server time.
4 p.m. EST. My bad.
4 p.m. Eastern, yeah. So Proc's correct. So, I would just encourage you guys to group up with your guildies, because if you want to do dungeon grinding, I know Gifts is wanting to try to get a group together that just wants to do strictly dungeon grinding to level up. I know that the current Hakar's team is going to be doing Sunken Temple Thursday night. So get with your raid teams, bug your raid leaders about running Sunken Temple on that night. We'll also have Nightmare incursions, which are a pain in the butt by yourself. So, group up with folks doing runes, questing. Also, just a reminder that to be able to get into Onyxia and into Molten Core, both of them require attunement. And so many of us have already done the first half of that attunement for Onyxia, but we'll need to group up to do the second half of the Onyxia attunement. So if we can get together, do those things, get them done, That way we'll all be ready for that first flex raid. That would be super, super helpful. Now, once you do get to 60, I would encourage you to grab tags in the Get Dungeon Rolls channel, to post requests for guildies in the Guild LFG channel. If you grab those tags, we have a tag for every dungeon, every level 60 dungeon. So you can just mention in the Guild LFG channel. You can just mention, hey, forming a group for @DMN so anybody that has that tag would be pinged. That way that they would know that you're trying to get a group together. So again, I would encourage you, try to run with guildies. That just helps to strengthen the guild, because a lot of times if you're running with pugs, then you're just gearing up pugs instead of the guild and helping them get ready. So everything you're doing when you're trying to get your pre-biz, that sort of thing, do your best to try to build the guild up by running with guildies. Just a reminder, as always, I think we do really well with this. We do every raid team does run Warcraft logs using the guild Warcraft logs account. We do have a guild for that. If you're not a member of that account, then let me know. We can get you set up for that. Just a reminder, as always, that logs are a tool to help us improve. They're not a club to beat down your guildies. So sometimes it's fun to see who can do the best DPS, but just a reminder that elitism is not something that we're about. Our guild name is Filthy Casuals, right? So kind of the bottom line for us is that dead bosses are more important than your stupid parse. So a reminder, raid etiquette during encounters: only your raid leader should be talking. During loot, only the loot master should be able to do talking. Just a reminder that loot, it's just pixels. It's a random game. We'd love for everybody to get BIS, but we know that because of the way that things work, not everybody gets BIS. So once loot is distributed, then it's fun time. So you're clearing trash, feel free to chat, shoot the breeze, whatever. But I would just ask that during encounters or during loot, just kind of keep it quiet. That way we can get loot out quickly and accurately. We do ask that you need to be prepared. Know your class, know your role, know the encounters, have your consumables. All of those things are super important. From time to time, you're going to have an issue during the raid with maybe something that happened. If that happens, I would just ask that you would whisper your concern either to an officer or to a raid leader. That way the raid can kind of continue and the raid leader or the officer can kind of deal with the situation. So dealing with that in private channels, probably just the best way to do it. One thing to keep in mind is that raid time is raid time. We're always going to start our raids exactly on time. So I would ask, and first pull is exactly at raid time. So I'm going to ask a couple of things. Respect your guildies by being at the instance a little bit early. Have your world buffs, have your consumables already collected. Don't say, hey, I need 5 minutes. I need to go get this. We're going to start pulling right at raid time. We don't assume that you're going to have a summon. Just be there. Log out if you need to log out at the entrance to the instance. Then do that. A reminder: we're not going to do any pull that'll take us beyond the raid end time. I want to respect all of you and your time, but do anticipate that probably to clear Molten Core we'll probably need 2 nights to get it on farm. It's more bosses than any other raid that we've had so far. It's going to be 11 bosses, so keep that in mind. Just a reminder, I want to clarify just to make certain everybody understands what our loot policy is. So we use SoftRes. So SoftRes IT is where everyone is able to enter and update their soft reserve for that week. Soft reserves are good for the entire lockout. We're going to be using Gargoyle, so our loot masters are all going to be using Gargoyle, which is great at tracking and distributing loot. So say an item drops, I want everybody to just be real clear on here's our prio list. So the first thing is that if the item is hard reserved, then it's going to go to the person that hard reserved it. So how hard reserves work is that we have one hard reserve for the phase for each dedicated tank or healer. These not necessarily hybrid roles or swing roles, but if you're a tank or if you're a healer, you do get one hard reserve for phase. So you're going to need to talk to your person that's in charge of loot to make certain that they know what your hard reserve is. Once you get that hard reserve for the phase, you're done with hard reserves. I know this has caused some consternation for some people, but I will say that not everybody gets their hard reserve. I know this last time I felt bad for Eric, but he never got his hard reserve. It's one of our healers on my team, and he never got his hard reserve. So felt bad for him, but not everybody does get it. And then say for example that it's not hard reserve, but it's soft reserve. Everyone gets one soft reserve per lockout. And if you're the only one that soft reserved that item, you get that item. But if there's more than one person on that has soft reserved that item, then we roll and the highest roll gets the soft reserve. If nobody's hard or soft reserved it, then we're going to do main spec roll using a +1 system. So the way that works is that the person with the highest roll and the lowest +1 count for that lockout wins the item. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment. But what we want to do is we want to make, by using the +1 system, we want to make certain that some person can't walk away with 5 items in one night. We want to make certain that everybody has a chance to win something. So this is probably the most fair thing. You get the soft reserve, you get the main spec roll. So and on a good night, you could get at least 2 pieces. Sometimes it's even more as the phase rolls on. If nobody wants it as main spec, then you can do /roll 99 for an off spec roll. I would just make certain that it is truly off spec. If it is a main spec item, some people I've seen, I know this wouldn't happen, but it's possible that someone could, in theory, roll on an item that's not off spec in order to circumvent the main spec thing. So, just a reminder. And then if nobody wants it off spec, then they're going that item is either going to be disenchanted, or they'll be vendored for the guild bank. That way we can kind of replenish the guild bank. Nicolette's going to talk a little bit about the guild bank and how that works in a little bit. But we do provide some consumables. We're still trying to figure out what consumables we're going to provide in phase 4. But that's what the guild bank, that's what those things go for, so that we can provide some of those consumables for the guild. So just so that everyone's clear, here's an example about how the main spec +1 works. So if nobody has a hard reserve or a soft reserve on the item, then we're going to roll first for main spec. The person with the highest roll and the lowest +1 main spec count for the raid lockout wins the item. So here's your example. The Shield of Awesomeness drops, okay? It's not hard reserved, it's not soft reserved, and 3 people roll on it. Player 1 has won 0 main spec items for this raid lockout and rolls a 35. Player 2 has already won 1 main spec item for the raid lockout and rolls an 89. Player 3 has won 3 main spec items and rolls a 99. So because of the way that it works, we want to make certain that people don't get multiple items before others get their first piece. We want to be fair with drops. Then player 1 would get the item because they haven't won a single main spec item for the raid. So that's kind of how that works. I just want to make certain we went over it again, just so it is clear. Also, just a reminder that main spec counts respec each lockout. They don't reset every raid night, but they reset every lockout.
Hey, Mac?
Yep.
Can I ask a couple questions here? First of all, just to clarify, your soft reserve, if you get that, it does not count as a +1.
That is
You may have
correct.
said that, but
Your
okay,
soft-
just to clarify.
Yeah.
Great. And then second of all, somebody did raise a question about, let's say a tank has a hard reserve and the legendary drops, and they get the legendary. Does that count as their hard reserve or not?
That is, in my mind, if the tank really wants it, I think we probably should. I don't think that's a great question. I don't know that we've talked about that, but that might be a
We can-
good policy to consider, of it going ahead
Yeah.
and being a hard. The only caveat that I would have is there's no guarantee that they would get that,
Right.
because 3 to 4% drop rate, right?
Yeah, it shouldn't be their hard reserve, but if they get it, maybe then we can talk about it offline. But I do think that's a good question that we need to consider.
Yeah, appreciate the good question. There are always things that we're not thinking about. So whoever raised the question, I do appreciate it. We do have a full rating policy if you're new to the guild or if you've been around for a while. It's just been updated and it's in rating policies in Discord. So feel free to check that out. All right, Nick, let's turn to talk a little bit about the bank.
Great. Thanks, Mac. The good news is we are in a really good financial position in the bank right now. We have a little over 1,600 gold. And who can tell me exactly how much gold we have in the guild bank? Anybody? Yeah, my husband just said you can.
$1 million.
Okay, what is it?
101.
1,613 gold, 87 silver, 95 copper.
Okay,
gonna-
fantastic. And
I'm
how
gonna
do you
guess
guys-
$1, Bob.
How you know is I want everybody, please, 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 to take just a minute and go out to CurseForged and download the add-on GBank Classic Revived.
I'm not rich, Talon. I am not rich.
All right, I'm going to give everybody just a minute to do it. What this add-on, while you guys are doing this, what this add-on does is it lets you see exactly what we have in the guild bank. Guys, this is your guild bank. And so the mats here are to be used by the guild. I've tried to kind of share with the guild and have not gotten the engagement that I would like. This is how things work. First of all, enchanting materials. We need to have, we're going to give free enchants. This is what we do every phase, is free enchants. Mac very quickly will learn as many patterns as he can, in addition to a few other people in the guild. And everything we can DE, we will provide. Now, there's always that, rare enchant that costs 250 gold to enchant your sword or something. We can't do those. When the material prices drop, we will. But if we get the mats from DEing things, we will give them out as free mats and pay it back to the guild. So what happens? Let me back up. What we're doing with like greens and blues. If you're a raider and you're on a team and a green drops, all greens go to the guild bank. Now, if there's something that truly is best for you or you really need, it's a really big upgrade, by all means, speak up. It could be yours during the raid. But as a general rule, all greens go to the guild bank. And then all BOE blues, unless it's a big upgrade for a raider that's there, will also go to the bank. What do we do with those? We will first make them available to everybody that's a raider. If there's something you want, you can actually buy it from the guild bank at 50% of the AH value. So if you have that GBank Classic Revisited, you can always see exactly what's in the guild bank and just see what it currently is on the AH. And if it's something you want, you can either whisper me or just send me an in-game mail, and I'll mail it to you COD for 50% of whatever the current AH value is. Please take advantage of that. We've had very few people take advantage of this in the past, and I've been selling really great items that I know are upgrades for people. So please, that's why I wanted everybody to download this add-on so you could really see what's out there. I'm going to try to do a better job of advertising when we get really good drops. Keep an eye out for the Guildmaster channel in Discord, and that's a great place to see what mats that we may need. Right now, the only thing I know we need is the greater fire protection potions. I've stockpiled a whole bunch of mats for that. If there's anything else, other potions that come up that we need for the guild bank, Please talk to your raid leaders. Raid leaders, please talk to me, or anybody can reach out to me personally, and we can start distributing those. We will be distributing the greater fire protection potions initially for everybody when we start Molten Core, and possibly some other, if the raid leaders think there's other mats that they need to be distributed, we will distribute those. No, Jess. Everybody should bring their own raid mats to the raid, but the things like the greater fire protection potions that will be expensive, we try to help supplement things like that for the raid teams. Any other questions that anybody has on Guild Bank? Or Mac, did I miss anything you can think of?
Well, I just want to say thanks to Nicolette for all the hard work. It is a thankless job, and we all really appreciate the hard work that you do to run the bank. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Here, here.
Nicolette,
And
the master of coin.
The
I-
master coin.
I was
would
gonna ask
say
for,
just cloth wearers. I do have the Flare Core set. I've farmed up the rep with Thorium Brotherhood, so we have the Flare Core robe. These are all purples. The gloves and the mantle. And the neat thing about them is that they all have fire resist on them. So it looks like altogether you could get about 75 fire resist by having that set. I don't know if it's going to be any better than what you
Yeah.
currently have, or if they're going to update them, but I do have all of those.
Okay, well,
Good
back
point
the
to make.
yeah, I appreciate you bringing that up. The several people in chat are talking about the Oni cloaks that have all that fire resist, and you're a maxed out cloth or whatever tailor, maxed out tailor. I'm a maxed out leather worker, and it takes both those skills to make the cloaks. So that is something that I've been looking at, is seeing if we can't help provide those, or provide those at a reduced cost or something like that. So yeah, please don't go out and buy those quite yet, because I think that we can. I will in fact look at that tomorrow, what it'll take to farm mats, and maybe I can get some help from the guild to farm some mats, and we can turn around and give those at a significant reduced price to the guild. Everybody will need that.
One point to make and a question.
Yes.
So to your point, Mac, they have made changes to that Flare Core set, and that set is now bind on pickup, so only a tailor can wear it.
Oh, you're kidding.
Y'all.
And the question I have is going back to the Guild Bank thing. So a lot of people don't know about this with our donation system and the filthy points. Are those eligible to be used for those items that drop in raids that someone might want?
Yeah, I've been sitting on the fence as far as whether we want to reactivate the filthy points, and I'll tell you what, I'll commit to doing it, but I need everybody involved in this system in order to keep it going. What these filthy points are that Brachius is talking about is, if you make a donation to the Guild Bank, you will get filthy points worth 50% of the AH value. And there's a spreadsheet that I will link in the Guildmaster channel that, or the Quartermaster channel, that will track and will show you how many filthy points people have. And you just mail everything to FC Bank and you'll get credit for it. You can actually use those filthy points to spend for buying either those green BOEs or the blue BOEs, or for buying extra potions or anything that's in the Guild Bank. So please, if you do, like I've seen several people say, hey, yeah, we can, I'm a leather worker, or so somebody say I'm a skinner, be more than happy to donate. Yeah, if you want to go out and skin a bunch of stuff and donate, then that's great. You'll get those filthy points for your donations, and then you can spend them for other things in the Guild Banks. Okay, so I'm going to really push for you guys to be, I hate the fact we don't have a Guild Bank officially built into WoW, but we've done the best we can to try to make it where people can actually donate things that other people can use, and then people can buy things out of the Guild Bank. So I've kind of cleaned out the Guild Bank with phase 3 things. And so now we have lots of room for putting phase 4 things in. But use that Guildbank Classic and then use the spreadsheet that I will link, as I said, in the Quartermaster channel that'll show how many filthy points people have. And please donate the material for your guildies, and then please take advantage of it and buy things because you can get it substantially reduced price.
I have a question for if we're in scope for potentially going for Sulfurous, should we make the assumption that either through crowdsource or self-funded for the Arcanite bars, that should be the expectation?
Can we hold question? That's a great question. Can we hold our questions to the very end, and then we'll get to those. I promise. We will get to that, and you'll be the first question. Because I do know we have some folks that need to drop off. I want to make sure we get to everything here real quick.
Okay. Well, I'm done, so we can move on.
Cool. So, in the last phase, we had 4 different teams, and each of those teams were related to bosses in Sunken Temple. But we've decided in the next phase that we're going to go for the legendary names for each of our raid teams. So, Ranicus End, you are now Thunder Fury.
Yay!
And Hakar's Heartbreak is going to be a Tesh. Jamalin's Judgment is Sulfurous. And Morphaz's Match is now Andonisus. So as soon as I can change those the names of those different channels and the tags, you guys will be known as those raid teams moving forward. So those should last us for the rest of SOD.
Adonisis, I barely know her.
All right. So last thing we have is we have door prizes for showing up and being here. So these were provided by the Guild Bank, and so we have 2 door prizes. So what we want to do, Nicolette, how many people do you have in your raid?
I have 4 people in my raid.
4 people in your raid. Okay, so you're gonna have to tell me who has the highest roll in your
Sure.
raid. So
Why don't we just roll in? Let's roll in guild chat.
No, not yet.
Oh, no. Okay, sorry.
Not yet.
Okay. All right, I will.
So, because that's very, very difficult. So we're going to do Master Looter.
Okay, I have 5 now.
All right, you have 5 now. All right, you do have to be in the room. I noticed Snedham is not here. So Snedham, if you want to win one of the things, you have to be here. All right, so we have 1 raid item that you can win.
Knight, you can't roll yet.
I can. And I did.
I'm just going to put this, let's see, can I do this? Sorry, for some reason, Gargle's not working right. Let's do this. We'll just go with Nicolette's suggestion. Everybody roll in guild. Roll 100, or yeah, just do a slash roll. Don't do a roll 1,000. You're out. What is the highest roll that you have?
It is Rain at 33.
Okay, I'm seeing Sir Modi at 99. Did anybody also roll a 99 or higher?
Doesn't look like it.
All
Next
right.
highest are tie at 89.
All right, Sir Modi, come and open trade with Mac, please. Congratulations. At 99.
So do we get to know what he gets?
I don't even know what they are. So yeah, make sure you link whatever it is that you got, Sir Modi. All right, Ceremony wins a pet fish. Congratulations, Ceremony. All right, everybody, we got one more gift. Let's do slash roll. Here we go. Yeah, no foot rubs from me. Sorry. One more, please. Oh, Tally with the 99.
Shorted with the 99.
Oh, short round. Yep.
No way.
Who will win the roll off?
All right.
He will.
So short round and Tally roll off.
Wait, hold on. We
wait,
got
wait.
someone
Okay, we're
like,
Tally
had an 88.
what is there? What did they get?
99.
99s.
A 99. Okay, nope. We got 91s here. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Hang on.
Tolly rolled an 88, not a 99.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I thought I saw it was 99. All right.
There's
well,
definitely 299.
Let's see. I'm scrolling back just to make sure. This is what we get when we don't have gargoyle.
Maybe not.
Nope. Next highest is a 98 with Christoros.
Cool. All right. Shorty, come open trade. Congratulations, sir. You hope it's a pet fish. Let's see.
It's a red ribbon gift. It is actually a pet fish.
Okay, I think we should give, those are the good gag gifts. I think we should give him each $15 also in WoW funds.
All right. So
How about that?
So additionally, each of you are going to get $15.
15.
Yes, courtesy of Nicolette. It's $15 in WoW account balance. So get in touch with Araquium or Arachius, Eric Mage, and he will get you set up. Okay? Does that work okay with you, Eric?
Works by me.
All right, congratulations. Not only the pet fish, but a free month of WoW. All right, so congratulations. Yes, it was rigged. Absolutely jumps. All right, so we are done with the normal portion. Questions and comments. And the first question, if we can go back to the first question that we had about Arcanite bars and things.
Oh, that was me. Yeah, I was just curious if there should be a general expectation that we should fund our own, because those ones are more outside of raid compared to the other mats. Would that be a general expectation that we should, or have them in advance?
And remind me, I'm sorry, that what the Arcanite bars are used for. I know. What's
There's roughly about 100 for Thunder Fury and 50 for Sulfurous.
That are needed, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should try to do something with that, Mac.
Isn't that Arcanite bars? Don't you need? Don't
It's
those
a
need
cooldown.
transmute to make those?
Yes.
So
May I propose that every guild alchemist donates at least 1 or 2 transmutes for that?
Yeah, that would be.
It's
that
the
would be
crystals.
At least on
nice.
your
Yeah.
And those
It's
are
the
not.
crystals that are pinned.
Those are not bind on pickup, right? You can.
they're not
traded.
bind on. They're not bind on pickup. They're pretty hefty price right now. They might go down. That's what I'm mainly asking. Is it's if you look at today's prices, it's like 4,000 gold for Sulfurous without counting the raid mats, which is a pretty steep price. 2x for the Thunder Fury. So
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's been farming them up, but they do. You know, it takes a while.
And
Once
I think-
phase 4 becomes a thing, they'll become cheaper.
So the Arcanite crystal is a very small drop chance off of mining. I think, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll need our help from our miners as well as our alchemists to create these things. So whatever we can do, we'd appreciate help. Both farming and getting help. That way, it's not all on the person that's getting it. So.
Yeah, definitely. If you do win a legendary, please reach out to me, as Nicolette, and we'll see what we can do to get the guild rolling to help with that, and we'll start trying to stockpile some of those mats, because that's tough if you get it, but you can't afford to actually use it. So we will definitely help.
Yeah, you can
Do what we can.
It's like you say, you can get the Arcanite crystals right now out of the thorium. If if you're brave enough to try to mine in Searing Gorge, but that's an adventure at 50. So
I've heard, I think in Goro Crater you can also.
okay.
Depending on the other items that get released, there might be a high interest with some of these, like the Mooncloth and the Arcanet bars. So there is a chance they might go up in price, even though more may come into the market. So it's definitely one of those that it helps out if there's a crowdsource function.
Yep, definitely.
I know
Together.
this is Muchler. I know we also had another part. He was asking about the hard reserve for those people that might be getting those, and I do think we'll talk again offline on this. But as a tank who could possibly be in line for Thunder Fury, I do think it's appropriate if Thunder Fury were to drop, or the mats for it, that you automatically drop your hard reserve.
I have a solution for that covers up both of the
Hang on a
scenarios.
second, Gist. Let's entertain what he just said. I kind of like that idea.
Yeah.
It's like if you already get it, then it's just like, okay, that's awesome, appreciate it. I'm gonna release my hard reserve. Then that hard reserve becomes available to everybody.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
I say we call it a super hard reserve and call it a day.
There you go, Bloody.
All right.
Can I add now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Thanks.
Easiest way to do it so that there's no ambiguity in there, because one scenario is that the person wins their hard reserve first and then they get Thunder Fury. Easiest way to do that is that it will use whatever active or next active hard reserve that you get. Like if you already got your hard reserve in MC, then you find Thunder Fury, it will use your Blackwing Lair one.
Well, yeah.
That way you won't have a scenario where you already got both, you cake both ways.
Right.
I think one of the issues though is we don't know if a
Yeah, and the
4%
drop
thing
rate's
is
so
going to
small.
drop. So
Yeah, we don't. But that's why you can have your normal hard reserve until it drops, and if you win it.
I get what you're saying.
That way nobody can come and say that he got really, really lucky. He got first won the hard reserve, and then he won the legendary without any negatives at all.
I mean, it is going to be a grind. To be fair, it's going to be a grind,
True,
an
true.
expensive grind to get legendaries. I'd be surprised if we, if we had more than one or two in the entire guild. Adon's bringing up some good points. We need to have some other conversations, I think, about this outside, just so we can have something that's equitable. So, for example, if the tank gets their hard reserve, does the other tank auto hard reserve the Lego? We'll have those conversations, because what we don't really want to see is somebody getting a hard reserve and a Lego.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. So we need to do a little bit of homework on that, and we'll work with you guys on it just to make certain it's equitable.
Well, Nicolette owes me at least 2 Arcanite bars for cheating in our hardcore duel, so.
I did not even use a swiftness potion. I'm just saying.
Fucking shenanigans.
You got to understand. Knight actually watched the video and he said, "You were a pally that fought like a rogue, because my rogue is my main." Exactly.
Yeah, basically. Backstab me, and that's why you owe me Arcanite.
Yeah, it's in the mail.
Okay. All right. Any other questions or concerns?
For legendaries, if there's multiple people that are candidates for it, are we just rolling it?
No, for legendaries, the raid leaders will be deciding in advance who that one person is for each legendary on the raid team, and there will be conversations with that one person to ensure that they're going to stick around.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Can you repeat the meeting? I was not listening.
Oh my god! Every phase.
I have one other thing.
I have to keep the tradition going. Come on. Every single meeting.
I gotta grab my newspaper. Where's it at? Somebody needs a boot.
Run!
I have a little bit extra as well, which would be I assume when you mentioned that get you pre-raid, that doesn't count stuff that is on pre-raid list that requires some exalted reputations.
Yeah, just
Because
do-
that's a bit far.
Yeah,
just do your
just-
best. You know,
Yeah.
don't show up in your level 50 raid gear. If you do that,
Yeah.
you know, I will be mad.
It might be my pre-best.
unless it's your pre-best.
The other one is somebody mentioned about bind on pickup things. My understanding is that they clarified it that the initial thing that you make is bind on equip, but you can upgrade it to become bind on pickup. I don't know how much the upgrade will give you. It gives you something more, but that's when it becomes bind on pickup.
Any other questions or comments or concerns before we kind of, because
Yes.
we're getting close. Yep.
The scale difficulty question has come up a couple of times, and as far as I know, that's going to be a bridge that we'll cross when we get there. Because I mean, we're going to have to clear MC before we even look at doing that. So that's going to require people to get their fire resist and all that stuff. And I mean, who knows how far people are going to want to take it, because it's
Yeah.
ultimately that idea is meant more for the sweaty speedrunning people that clear that stuff week 1 and they're clearing that stuff in an hour the next after that. So
You're talking about the different levels of difficulty?
the heat levels, yes. And the only benefit to doing the higher heat levels is that you get more gear. There's more stuff drops, so that means that you have higher chances of getting the rarer items.
Right. Well, each team will have to, see where they're at when they start the raid, evaluate how it's going, shore up any problems that they're having, and then as a team we can decide to move on to the next level of difficulty if we're able to do that.
So two more things I would like to cover up. As Mac mentioned earlier, I'm looking after the initial quest turn-ins to make a group that runs BRD and then hops to LBRS at 56 or 55, probably 56, and keeps running in a way that if somebody leaves, we just get somebody else in to fill up and keep going. So perpetual run that probably runs through the night. So even if you are missing something earlier on, you might be able to hop on that one. Obviously, need to form the initial group first, based on the people who are available at that time. Second part is there enough interest to do the Alas Underhall? We probably need 15 people to be able to do it and have to do it 3 times to get it for everyone. It's a very good quest to turn in, and it is also the quest that you need to do in order to get the key for Skolomans.
I'm in, buddy.
We can discuss that more in our raid channel, Castanico. We'll set some stuff up, see if people want to run that. I don't even know what quest you're talking about. It's hard to hear because I'm trying.
Skill level 61 elite. It's skill level 61 elite lich that is surrounded by level 58 to 59 normal ops and a couple of elites.
Any other questions or comments?
Yes.
Whoever said yes, you go first.
Are you going to link the spreadsheet for all of the raid team members retrade?
We can. We still have a few people. We still have I put it actually in the. I did show it earlier, and we can show it again. It changes every day, but we're not going to give the link to the actual sheet because we don't want people changing it. But we do have that.
You can just take a screenshot of it.
Yep. Yep. I showed it earlier, and it's in the video. So.
Yeah, you're posting the recording.
Yep.
Yeah, the actual thing is interactive. We can't have people logging on and changing everyone's name to Fart or something like that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, who would do that?
Wait, if it's a Google sheet, you can just have people as people who can just view
only,
and not
yeah.
edit.
Yeah.
And this is Prawn.
Just curious on how former Jamal's judgment suddenly lost 2 milli.
Yep.
Same way I today lost one.
You just have to expect that at the beginning of a
Yeah.
new phase, people are just gonna realign their values and what they want to do. So, Prod had a question.
2 quick questions. Do we currently have the raid times out? I know we're looking at past the 25th. I was just curious if those times were out. And then the warlock summoning. What level warlock do you guys need? What knows teleport or summon?
The 20? I think it's yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier if you have a lock that can do the lock box instead of single summons. So
Yep,
Yeah.
that's what I've been working on, is getting up 2 warlocks to 30 and seeing if people will help me farm out that damn book.
And as far as the sign-ups for the main raid team, for our raid team, Jumps will be getting on that and putting those up past the 25th. And then the flex raid for Onyxia and World Bosses, those are going to go up probably tomorrow.
Oh,
So
the world bosses start on.
the 18th.
Okay.
So we'll probably do one on the 20th. See what we can do.
I've seen several people say that they are willing to give their transmute or things like that and just offer. If you'll just go into the quartermaster place on Discord and just say you're volunteering there, then I'll follow up and with various groups and kind of get the mats aligned up.
Yeah, anytime Nicolette said Guildmaster channel, she meant
Thank you.
Quartermaster channel.
Thank you.
We all know
Yeah.
Nicolette wants to be the guildmaster, so.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I really don't, Mac. I mean, I really
It's
don't.
a-
But thank you.
It's a subtle takeover.
Quartermaster. Quartermaster.
It's a,
Completely
Well,
forgot.
everybody knows that I have problems with words. Like I say flash instead of vanish. Guildmaster instead of quartermaster. Okay, whatever.
I completely forgot one other thing is that do we have always somebody who can skin Onyxia? They need to get that skinning knife from UBRS.
I'll get it. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
Oh, well, and
I would.
Don't
I would
sound
also-
well.
we'll figure out the logistics with it. But yeah, we've already had discussions about whatever it's called now. It used to be called Finkel Skinner, but it's off the beast. So yeah, that's already been looked at.
For me, it's forever Finkel Skinner.
all right. Anything else for the good of the group? Any other questions or comments? I want to respect your times, and it's midnight Eastern, so or it's 11 Eastern, so we need to call it a quit.
Yep.
Well, thanks everyone for being here. I really appreciate all of you. This is best guild I've ever been a part of, and I'm looking forward to a great phase 4. We'll get you guys some answers on the legendaries and how we're going to handle that with hard reserves, and we'll just kind of move forward with that. All right. So.
Mac,
All right.
regardless of trolling or not, I want to say thank you to everyone. It's actually been a lot of fun since starting SOD. It's a fun experience, despite the trolling and all that stuff. Just letting everyone know.
We're glad you're having fun. Thanks everyone. Y'all have a good night.
Do look troll.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Have a good night,
Hey,
guys.
Mac, can you drag me into officer's chat so I can
Yeah.
talk to you for a second?
Yep, no problem. We'll get there.
Thank you.
Have a great night, everyone.
Any other officers?
Roll
wanna go
gnome.
down to OChat, more than welcome to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to pop
Damn
down.
it, Jess. I thought you were going to get through a whole thing without saying gnome once. You were so close.
You know me.
Hey, good night everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
You know me.